everybody, here today to do the energy read for the week. Each week I ask 3 questions that I sort of decide what the questions are during the week, what comes through in readings, what I tap into in the collective consciousness. This week there's been a lot of energy of things ending, lots of things ending. That's question number 1. Number 2, there's been opportunities for new beginnings. That's going to be question number 2. Question 3, what else can we expect from 2019? You know, all this shifting and growing, what can we expect? So I'm going to ask Spirit that. And if you want your own personalized video reading emailed to you within 1 to 14 days, I offer 1, 2, 3 question options and also Celtic Cross options. Go to the link in my bio, click on Tarot Oracle Card Readings, and I email that to you as soon as possible, within 1 to 14 days. So my first question I'm going to ask about endings, I'm going to use my heart deck. I have 12 different decks. And I use different decks for different questions, depending on what the energy of the question is. So, number 1, what do we need to know about endings to assist us, Spirit? And I run my hand over the top, and the one that feels warm is the one that I pull. Okay. So what do we need to know? Ooh, that one's hot too. Okay, all right. So when I pull out the 3 cards, sometimes I don't always necessarily know how they correspond together, but once I pull them, I sort of, again, tune into the question. What do we need to know about endings to assist us in our growth? The first thing I got was believe and succeed. There's going to be a shift of somebody that's not believing in themselves. There's issues, what I'm sensing is issues with self-esteem. And also I'm sensing that there's issues, on the other side of the coin, there's issues with ego. So those are some blockages that are in the way. You know, what believe and succeed. And this card depicts somebody in a boat. In the front of the boat there's a beam of light coming down from the front. So that indicates that you are being divinely guided. You just need to believe and succeed. You may not necessarily be paying attention to the signs that are right in front of you, trying to guide you like breadcrumbs, or whether like synchronicities, whether it's finding feathers, finding coins, songs, any sort of message from Spirit that you're not necessarily paying attention to. Pay attention to the signs. That's going to help you transition from the beginning to from the endings to the beginnings. Second card I got around what do we need to know about endings is confront. This card came up again. I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, and there's 65 cards in this deck, so it's the fact that this card has come up again indicates that the collective consciousness is still dealing with this. There's some confrontation, and I'm seeing that this is confrontation of the self. You can see that this person is looking in the mirror. There are, and I am getting a sense, clairvoyantly, I'm seeing people start to make New Year's resolutions. And we're looking at the parts of ourselves that we no longer want to carry with us. Whether that be starting a new exercise program to feel healthier, whether it be quitting drinking, whether it be, finding a new hobby, whether it be towards some sort of self-improvement or leading away from habits that no longer serve. And the number on this card is 18. So if you're a numerology person, if you're seeing 18, 18, 18, 18, that's a sign from the universe that you need to confront a part of yourself that you're not looking at, and this is the shadow aspect. So this is the shadow work. And when we do the shadow work, we really tap into all the lessons that our life has taught us, and we transmute that energy of victimhood into the energy of survivor. So every ending is an opportunity for a positive beginning, and I'm seeing the moon up above the person in the mirror. So this person in the mirror, it represents your feminine energy, your sensitive side, and this is the masculine energy, and it's time for you to assimilate the feminine energy. Okay? Can't be more clear than that about endings. Next card I got was solar plexus chakra. So what that speaks about is power. It speaks about purpose. It also can speak about ego. It can speak about being connected to our emotions. It can be connected to our anxiety. Endings, what's really jumping out to me on this card is that, there's a lot of people out there trying to sort of figure out what their true purpose is, what their true mission is. And there's a desire to sort of leave behind the things that are no longer connected to you, to your purpose. So you've in order to transition out of those endings, focus on really what resonates for you, what connects to your purpose and your mission, and let the other stuff go away. Okay, so question number 2 is about new beginnings, and I'm going to use my Rage Create deck, which is very colorful and tells it how it is, just like I do. The next question I'm going to ask is about beginnings, finishing up 2019. And I've already shuffled this deck. So what do we need to know about new beginnings? I'm still trying to break this deck in. I've got 12 decks and I've had them for years. This is my newest one, so it's still a little tight. Okay, so new beginnings. What do we need to know? All right, that card's warm. That's got to come out. Okay, this one's warm. That's got to come out. Okay, boy, this is looking good for new beginnings. We have a lot of good cards here. And when I do general readings, I really try to sort of tap into the collective consciousness and ask Spirit to use me as a vessel and a channel to answer questions that are going to help the most people. So take what you need and leave the rest. The first card I got about new beginnings is I am the hero in my own video game. Okay? So what I'm feeling is the reason that statement is so bold is that somebody may be waiting for somebody else to lead the way towards this next phase of their life. But you are the hero of your own video game. And the major color here is light blue, which is your throat chakra. So speak your sacred truth. That's going to help you with the new beginnings. And I'm not going to read the whole, there's a lot on the back of this card. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll read a little bit. You are leveling up. You are gaining superpowers. You bust through brick walls and smash the skulls of fear gremlins around every corner. You fall off cliffs, you get attacked and eaten by monsters, but you always show back up twice as strong, mentored by the wisdom of your wounds. Okay? So that's what you need to know about new beginnings, number 1. Number 2, whoops, I am a soldier of persistence and I dominate resistance. Okay? So what this card, there's a lot of this heart. There's a lot of emerald green on this card, which speaks about connecting to the heart chakra as a space of new beginnings. So what does this mean as far as persistence and I dominate with resistance? Okay, so what that tells me is that again, back to sort of we believe everything we tell ourselves. And when you, there's a lot of resistance that's always around us. But looking at, deciding the lens that you view that resistance through, like, oh, I'm just going to give up, or, oh, that's means I can't do it. That's not going to help you with your new beginning. Persistence. Find a different way. It doesn't matter if, the first time you try, it doesn't succeed. Try again. That sounds completely, cliche, but there's going to be some resistance, but your persistence is what's going to be needed to push through to the next level. And don't be afraid to be persistent. Okay, so on the back of this card says, when you resist, you conform to the death of creation, the death of yourself. When you create, you destroy resistance. You manifest a life of pure happiness and freedom. You must create it. Okay, so new beginnings. That's a great card for new beginnings. Third one I got for new beginnings is every breath I take is a chest full of treasure. So what I'm getting from that card is breath work. Going back to the breath. There's people out there that are all over the place, and going back to the calming activity of breath work. And what I'm sensing too is that there's somebody that's really chasing that chest of gold and really pushing and trying to find that. And that treasure of gold is out there. It's a matter of centering within yourself, becoming the hero of your own video game, overcoming the resistance, back to the believe and succeed, and confront your own demons. This is all sort of coming together. And of course, all of us want a big chest of gold. Not all of us get it. And the chest of gold can be symbolic of, goals and dreams that you have, whether it's relationships or job or whatever it might be. So this doesn't necessarily have to mean, specifically money in the bank type thing. All right. So that's what we got about new beginnings. So about the rest of 2019, I'm going to use my Soul Journeys deck, which I love. And the question is, what do we need to know about the rest of 2019? And I'm sort of going to keep it on the same page, the topic of, what do we need to know about what we've already talked about as far as endings and beginnings, and what we need to know about that moving into 2019. All right, that one came right out. All right. That one's hot. Okay. Ooh, that one's hot too. I pulled the card that's hot. All right. Oh my goodness. I love when Spirit wraps things up. You're going to get a kick out of this. So I made a note, endings, beginnings, rest of 2019. The last card that I pulled around what do we need to know about 2019 is specific, and don't freak out. The card says death, but it says, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Okay? So that wraps up everything that I've been talking about for the last few minutes. There's a lot of people that are going to have to let a lot of stuff go, but that is just a sign of new beginnings. I'm not sure if I mentioned, I found out a couple of days ago my office space is no longer available after the end of the month. So for 5 minutes, I went into panic mode and thought, what am I going to do? And then I thought, just find another space. Quit whining, quit beating yourself up. It wasn't meant to be. So, I've got appointments next week to look at like 7 different places, and I'll be totally fine. So endings are new beginnings. Rest of 2019, I got the card of success. And it says, I know that there is no greater goal than to love. Okay, so that's what some people need to look at right now through the end of 2019. Success, shifting the belief of success away from just financial benefits, but also with family. Okay, so that would sort of make sense with the holidays. I asked about the rest of 2019. What do we need to look at? Success can be found in connecting to your family. So no, I'm not surprised that came up. Doubt. I released the need to know all the answers. Okay? So that's what else you need to know before the end of 2019. So I hope you found this energy read helpful. If you want your own personalized reading, go to the link in my bio, click on Tarot Oracle card readings. Have a great week.